Hello class, welcome to Financial Accounting. I'm so glad you're here. I wanted to take just a few minutes to give you a quick tour around Blackboard to make sure that everyone knew where everything was located. So when you first open Blackboard, this should be your view. It opens up to the Assignment tab. And you'll see we have a Start Here folder. And let's click in there and take a look. Here you'll find some information about me in the welcome letter. And here's your very first reading assignment. I want you to read the syllabus, the whole thing, because there's going to be a quiz later. Here's some information on your textbook. Most of you already have that. If you have questions about how to access your homework and you haven't used Connect before, it's really easy. All you have to do is click on any one of the homework assignments, quizzes, any of the online assignments, and it will take you right to Connect. If you haven't already registered, it'll ask you to register and enter your access code. In this next section, I wanted to point out where you can find the due dates for your assignments. This is particularly important because I don't accept late work. So you always need to make sure you are cognizant of where your due dates are. So the first place you can find your due dates is in the syllabus. Also in Blackboard on the class calendar, and that's right here. You can also find it in Blackboard on the assignment tab, listed by chapter. We'll go look at that in a moment. And in Connect, it's also listed on each assignment. All right. This first week of class, I'm going to ask you to please take a moment and post an introduction video. Introduce yourself to me and to your classmates so that we can get to know each other. If you're still waiting for your textbook, I've got a copy on reserve at the Rasmussen Library if you happen to be local to Fairbanks. All right, exams. Every exam in this class is a proctored exam. All right. If you're local to the Fairbanks area, all you need to do is go to UAF eLearning, go to the testing center during the regular hours, which are listed right here, and you can take your exam. If you live outside of Fairbanks, you need to make arrangements for a proctor, and you need to make arrangements for a proctor at least 2 weeks before the exam due date. So, since you have an exam, your first exam in 2 weeks, and if you live outside of Fairbanks, now's the time to get that proctor lined up. And the instructions are all right here. And then finally, if you'd like to learn more about a career in accounting, what it entails, what kind of work you could do, how much money you could make, what sorts of classes you need to take to get there, click here. This is a great link called CPA This Way. Will give you tons of information. All right. Let's go back to the Assignments tab. And here's that syllabus quiz I mentioned earlier. So once you've read your syllabus, printed it out, if you need to, go ahead and take that syllabus quiz. You have unlimited attempts. Make sure you get 100 because it really does count. All right, so then you're ready to start the actual work. Let's click here in Chapter 1. Actually, let's click back for a second and let me point out a couple of things. Okay, notice here, Chapter 1, I tell you what the title of the chapter is. I give you a start date. Please start this section no later than August 28th. And I also give you the due dates in this section. And this one is just a reminder that the material in this chapter is tested on midterm 1 and the due date for midterm 1, and you'll also see it on the comprehensive final exam and that due date. Now let's go inside and click on that chapter. All right, here we are in Chapter 1, and you'll notice that we have 2 types of homework: LearnSmart homework and textbook homework. In the homework sections, these two, you have unlimited attempts at the homework. So take the time, learn it, get it right, get 100 on the homework. For the Learn Smart homework, this one in particular, make sure that you are completing the practice section. That's a section you need to complete in order to get credit for this assignment. This homework section is homework out of the textbook, and sometimes it's algorithmic homework, meaning that it's the exact same problem it's in the textbook, just the numbers might be slightly different. Again, you have unlimited attempts at the homework. Really strive to get 100 on it. Each chapter also has a quiz. You have 2 attempts at the quiz. Of course, you have all your resources available. You can use them all. Again, try and get 100 on those quizzes because they really do add up. So for the quizzes, actually for all of them, for the homework and the quizzes, we are going to drop your 2 lowest grades. But I really advise you to work really hard to do very well at the beginning of the course and save those drops for later. You don't know what might come up during the semester. You don't know if you might hit a chapter that is particularly difficult for you. So please try and save those 2 drops for later. Don't let your drops be your first and second assignments. Lastly, here I've given you a quick little video on how to use the Smart Book, the Connect Smart Book, and that'll help you out. All right, let's go back to the Assignments tab. And into Chapter 2 really quick. In Chapter 2, you see the similar Learn Smart homework, textbook homework that should be up here. I don't know how it got moved down, and your quiz. In addition, you'll see I've given you a quick little funny video to watch that actually does a good job of helping you with debits and credits, which is the main thing we're going to be learning in this chapter. And then I've given you some blank debit and credit quizzes. These are quizzes that I use in my in-classroom class, and definitely worth learning. If you take the time in this chapter to learn your debits and your credits, it's going to make the rest of the semester so much easier. In my live class, I actually tell my students to go home and learn their debits and credits over the weekend, or to really think about not coming back, because honestly, if you don't learn the debits and credits now, you're going to be struggling for the rest of the semester. Take it seriously, learn them now. I've given you these little quizzes so that you can practice the same type of practice as I do in my live class. I'll hand out the quizzes, and we just keep doing them over and over again until we can do them under 3 minutes and 80% of the class gets 100. So take it seriously and work on those. All right, back to the Assignments tab. And you will see that the next thing are some interactive presentations. Sometimes you just need a little extra help understanding the chapter, and here's some interactive presentations that you can go through to help you. These are optional, not graded, not part of your grade at all. And then your first midterm is just 2 weeks down the road. Midterm 1 is due on September 16th at 5 p.m. That's 5 p.m. Alaska time. And midterm 1 is available any day before the due date. You can go in. So then just a couple of things. This exam covers chapters 1 and 2. There are 40 multiple choice questions problems. Plus, I'm going to ask you to prepare a trial balance on this exam. So make sure you're comfortable doing that. All right, the rest of the semester continues on the same way. The chapters are organized in a similar function, as well as the midterms. And you can see all the work that's coming up right there. So let's move away from the assignments and take a look at the discussion board. In the discussion board, I already mentioned I'd like you to introduce yourself to me and to your classmates by posting a small video. Tell us your name, where you're from, something interesting about yourself perhaps that you don't mind that the rest of the class knows, and if there's anything in particular that you want to make sure that we cover in this accounting class. I've also included a forum for homework questions. Sometimes you're just stuck and If you post your question here, hopefully I'll see it really quickly, or one of your fellow students will see it, and we'll try and point you in the right direction, try and get you some help as quickly as we can so that you can move forward. I've created another forum for class management questions. I think I've covered most everything in the syllabus, but if you have other questions about how we're running the class, where you can find something that's not necessarily a homework question, post it here and we'll take care of it. All right, over here, there's a button for instructor contact. There's all of my information, my office hours if you're in the Fairbanks local area. If you're outside of Fairbanks, just email me and we'll help you out or post it onto the discussion board. That's about it. I'm glad you're here. There's a lot to learn this semester. We have a lot of work to do, so get started. I'm looking forward to meeting you. Thank you.